I think there was a time at the most when I rode, there was 18 in a league. That was great, you went everywhere once. And then you run an individual meeting, and that really was sold out, because that would be only the second time all the supporters would see that number one.
Yeah, that's great.
In that meeting, you need 16 riders, 18 clubs, one from number one from each club, right, and you see the public all come and see all the number ones doing a battle.
I did 160 meetings a year, because we rode in Australia, we rode in New Zealand and the United States, and Ivan, they were doing all these things. Ivan changed a lot to Speedway as well in the 70s.
I think I scared him a bit.
Yeah, I think Michael was perhaps good for me, because, to be honest, Michael was following in my footsteps. He wanted what I'd already had, and of course, it kept me on my toes. He pushed me, that's for sure, because, without someone like Michael Lee pushing at me, maybe I could have got a bit complacent, perhaps, and gone off the boil earlier than I did.
And that is why I remember that one meeting. It was my first England thing, mate, and it was like, you've got to perform, you're riding for England. And I remember passing Michenek and one of my rides down the back straight, and there was no room down the outside. On the straight this was, and I've got my elbow running down the safety fence, and I'm pushed up against Michenek with that elbow and steered him over that way and bounced off the fence. And this is halfway down the straight, and Michenek, he came in and called me a nutter. He says, "You bloody nutter."
Yeah, we had some great times at Exeter, won the league at Exeter. Unfashionable type of a club to go winning the league.
We couldn't have ridden at a better time, I think. Looking back on it all, can only say I'm really glad I was part of it in that era.
I was the first Englishman to go abroad in any World Cup to go through the field and score a 12-point maximum. I mean, that to me was the pinnacle, if you like, of my career. To do that.
Dovey Funding didn't like me much, so I used to keep beating him to the corner and running over his legs, and then he used to want to take the best gate all the time. So I said, this is a professional sport. I said, like, this, that and the other, and I can honestly tell you, Trevor Redmond paid me extra to go off the worst gate.
I was one, if you pulled the lever in and the clutch free, that was it, it's working. That was it. As all I did was crank a few more 1,000 revs on if it weren't going quick enough. Like.
When you look back on your approach that you had in those days, how would you describe it? Would you say that you didn't really do yourself justice as a rider?
Yeah, I should have been a lot more professional. But the snag is, when you enjoyed it so much, you thought, well, I don't want to stop this.
All of a sudden they said, well, you can go, Ivan. We're going to be England now, I got dropped about 2 weeks before the World Team Cup final at Wembley, when Great Britain were sitters to win it, or England were sitters to win it, but they didn't want me then. And then about 2 years later they said, you can, great news, Ivan, now you can be New Zealand. So I said, get stuffed.
I'm not a great lover of the saying, go out of the top and da-da-da-da-da. If you've got a talent and you can make a few bob doing it and you enjoy it, why not do it? He quit because he got involved in his business and all that. And he says, don't ever do that. Quit when you haven't got it out of your system.
Yeah, I was sad for the crowd actually, Oxford, because they thought Bob Dugard fixed it, didn't need to move. They was really upset. I always fancied I needed a bigger track to race on.
But anyway, I said, so Charles, don't pay him a bean, because I ain't going there, and don't pay them. And then in the end, Charles, he sort of says, I'll pay that, so on top of your earnings or whatever, your deal we've done, but I'll pay that. And that is the easiest money that he's ever made, Ian Thomas, just like that.
He said that in his book, yeah.
Yeah, this was a joke, and I never ever liked that.
And next thing then I spat the dummy a bit because my bike was bent and everything. He said, what do you want? He was in my face. And I said, right, I want that tyre out of Middleton's bike, and I'll break my bike. And all the boys come around, they all jumped on it, bloody straight, grumpy, all the boys, and lucky I won the last race.
Well, it left him in a bit of bother, really, but, when it's £500 first place, you've got to do these sort of things. Yeah. I wouldn't have put him through the fence by any means, but it's just hard Speedway. You know, maybe Martin in that predicament would have done the same thing to me, you know.
Oh, yes.
But he's big enough, you know, man enough to realise that, you know, Speedway.
Ollie said to me, bloody hell, Sprouts, you're riding for Hull, that's a bloody lowly old unfashionable team. I said, well, who cares? If you wanted to be fashionable, make it fashionable. And we just the following year, that was 78, and we almost
win the league.
Yeah, we almost won the league.
I want to get into the World Championships, you know, and it's going to take a few years to do that. And so Britain's the only place to come really to get into the world finally. You know, I can't do it at home because of the competition isn't that great. You come over here and the blocks are so good and so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Every night you see a different rider, you know, that's really a good rider. You know, so you got to come over here to do it. This is the only place.
Great. I love riding bikes. I got to fly around the world and I got paid for it. So what a great job to have.
So is that the bike you had at Gothenburg in '77 then, Pete?
This is the genuine bike from '77.
Yeah.
My legs healed up since then now. This was the one that I actually rode because it's we had twin carburetors on it, which Malcolm Simmons so kindly gave me.
Heat 10 then, with just 1 point between the Swedes and the English. On the inside, Zenon Plek. Next to him, Dave Jessup. Valery Gordeev from the Soviet Union on grid 3, and on the outside, Krista Lofquist. Heat 10. And there's some trouble here. It's Gordeev that nudges the tapes, and Lofquist is a mile back, but Jessup has leapt out and lost it all up to the first corner. It's Plek that leads for Poland. In second place, Jessup. Lofquist coming round the outside, and they're in a tremendously untidy heap here. Jessup's coming to second place on the inside. Plek leads for Poland. Jessup in second place now, as they really are tightening up Heat 10, and it's Plek and Jessup now is chasing after the Polish wonder boy. Very, very tight here. Jessup and Lofquist locked together. What a terrific race this is turning out to be. Still, it's Plek leads for Poland, the first Polish winner so far, the first Polish show his nose in front, and he's in terrible trouble there and almost has Jessup down as well. Very, very, very tight here, Heat 10. Plek, Jessup coming under him hard, and Lofquist coming under Jessup hard. What a sensational race this is. Again, Plek though straightens out. They go into the pit corner. Tremendous race. Lofquist is still in touch. Jessup now switches to the outside to try and get round Plek and over the line for the last lap. And I think Lofquist has come on the inside of Jessup. A tremendous race, and Lofquist coming hard against Plek, and Jessup coming around the outside. Jessup Marine, what a sensational race. My word. Plek is in front now, Jessup coming out wide, and Jessup I think is going to do it. Is Jessup going to do it? Boy, he's just done it on the line as everybody rises up. A sensational 4 laps of Speedway.